Okay, guys, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to our morning note. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of G.A.R Capital. We do this every morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to prepare you for the day in the market. It is November 6, 2020. Thank you so much for joining me again. Let's go ahead and talk markets and some headlines, shall we? Before we do, make sure to click bottom right-hand corner. That's our logo there. That will help you subscribe to our channel, turn on notifications, and like any of our videos. We really do appreciate it, as always. Any feedback is always welcome, of course. And your subscription or subscribing to our channel is definitely welcome, so you don't miss anything. Make sure to turn on notifications so you don't miss the next YouTube live trading session, which will happen next week since we had 6,000 Twitter followers. So thank you again to everyone who's followed our Twitter feed. I've been up for the past 3 nights, on and off. Tuesday I was up till 4. The rest of the nights I've been up till like 1, watching the elections and everything. Quick election update. Looks like Joe Biden has taken the lead in Pennsylvania. The margin in Georgia has shrunk. Biden is taking the lead in Georgia. Arizona, President Trump, is shrinking the lead in Arizona. And in Nevada, Biden is still holding his lead. Nevada is still counting votes. Everyone is still counting votes, mail-in votes. So that's just the news. Decision Desk HQ, which is a verified Twitter handle, that's all they handle, is political polls. They have called Pennsylvania for Vice President Biden, and that he has won the presidency. He won the 2020 election according to them. Again, confirmation that no other outlet has confirmed that, just them. So until there's an actual consensus of any kind there, whether it's CNN, Fox News, Washington Post, New York Times, whoever, as long as we get a consensus, then we'll report it. But the main thing, it's very important that we kind of keep things accurate. I don't want to say who won or lost. Just looking at statistically speaking, President Trump, and I tweeted this, cannot win the presidency without Pennsylvania or Georgia. There is no path for him to win without those 2 states. So Biden just needs to win one of those, and he wins the presidency. Will be over 270. President Trump needs to win both. But so far, from what the polls, from what the election numbers are looking at, and the vote total, it's looking like Biden will win the presidency, but that is not confirmed yet. I made sure to put that disclaimer on the tweet that they are the only ones that are calling this. No one else has. If anything has changed, we will let you know. But that's just on the election front. I know we've been kind of thinking about it and talking about it for a couple days, since that's really dominating the news. Just so you know, yesterday we had a Fed day, FOMC day. So Federal Reserve actually kept rates the way they are, and nothing has changed. They'll be continuing their bond buying. Nothing more to discuss. Looks like they definitely want more stimulus, as we know with Senate Majority Leader McConnell. Again, I know more politics. It looks like they will want to push a stimulus package, regardless of who's president. So again, we don't have a president-elect yet, whether it's re-election of President Trump or the election of Vice President Biden. Okay, so we're not there yet. We'll make sure to let you know if anything has changed. Make sure to keep it locked on Twitter. So let's get to economics. Forget politics for a second. That gets old, doesn't it? Let's go ahead and talk here. All right, so I've been seeing enough United States maps, it's just too much. So let's go ahead and talk about non-farm payroll report, which was actually up today. U.S. gained 603,000 jobs in October, above Market Watch's forecast of 530,000. Private sector jobs added 906,000. Unemployment rate tumbles from 7.9% to 6.9%. A very strong report. We are bouncing off futures, and we were down as much as 200 points in the Dow. The Dow is only down 17, guys. This market has been very resilient. This is the greatest start to a November, and the biggest bull market, the biggest bull run after an election in our history. So what you're seeing is very historic. Tech is bidding. Everything is bidding up. The assumption is that there's definitely a lot of optimism out there without even a president yet. Now, pretty sure some pundits will say that, oh, well, because it's Biden's going to win and the Senate is now Republican. Again, nothing has been called yet. So please keep that in mind, guys. No one has called anything. We're not sure yet. So it's very important. Trump has a shot to win. Keep in mind, he has a shot. It's not like he does not have a shot. There's still elections for a reason. There's still the reason they count. Okay, let's go over the numbers here. Dow futures are down 13, NASDAQ futures down 66, S&P futures down about 9. Russell 2000 index is actually outperforming, first time in a while, up about 1 point at 0.08%. Crude oil, been saying this, guys, crude oil is down 2%. Watch out for energy. That's a value trap. Stay away. I've been asked about that way too much. I'm telling you guys, you need to stay away from crude oil stocks and energy stocks. Bitcoin, been saying it for a while now, guys. You got to stay in Bitcoin. I buy Bitcoin every week and actually just raised my investment for every week. Bitcoin really has a lot of room to go with the dollar getting weaker. So it's something that I've been recommending now for years is Bitcoin. We've been tracking it for years. It's 15,785 on the future side, about 3%. We were about 16,000 just last night. Gold futures are up at 1958 an ounce. We're kind of creeping to that 2,000, 0.58%. Silver futures 25.80 an ounce at 242 gain, 2%, 2.42%. Hello. Let's take a look at the Forex side. 1.1879 on the euro dollar, up 53 pips. 103.29 on the dollar yen at 23 pips to the downside. Let's take a look at the dollar index. Dollar index is down about a quarter point at 92.29, and the VIX is down about 0.40 right now as the markets are relatively flat-ish. A couple of names that have stood out to me that you guys want to take a look at. NIO has actually been a beast. If you remember when we did our last trading session, we bought the 28 calls. The thing's at 41. I think NIO now is definitely a buy. I think NIO is definitely worth buying some shares here. Maybe you may think it's a little too late. They just had their battery day. I think the prospects are high. If you are betting on a Biden presidency, you probably think that they will probably have a little more of an easing of China relations. NIO and BABA seem to stand out. JD seems to stand out. Anything that's in China related will probably be benefited. NIO has both EV and China. So NIO could be a buy here. I think with this small little dip pre-market, it could be worth a buy. We played it a couple of times this week on calls. It's been an absolute monster, almost parabolic in a sense. But again, you get some pullbacks here and there. I think NIO is worth investing in my opinion. I think it's a speculative one, a little more growth, as we've been talking about before. When the Fed is actually easing rates, you kind of want to focus on growth and not on value. Value meaning dividend stocks, energy stocks, railroads, utilities, financials, such and such. Speaking of financials, that payroll report was very helpful to JPM. So JPM is actually breaking out. So I want you guys to take a look at JPM. See if there's any volume first, but it is breaking out of this resistance here. I actually spoke to a student yesterday, and we actually charted it together. We charted JPM together, and we took a look at the 105s together. And 105 is now in the money. That was the one that had the volume. And again, a strong non-farm payroll report with a strong employment. Take a look at financials. I know when it comes to value, I said value is not really worth it. But when it comes to financials, again, you could take a look at JPM. JPM looks like a really strong stock to play. Maybe for next week. It is breaking out. Take a look at it. A couple of names that actually reported yesterday. Square reported yesterday. It is up very nicely, nearly $8. We bought Square for our investment club. We bought on the dip, and I think we're very happy on that. I actually bought some Alibaba yesterday on a dip. Alibaba did bounce. I think I bought it around 283. Is now at 292. So it's looking very strong. Again, I like Alibaba. It's a part of our investment plan that we've had for 2021 that I sent out to our investment club. If you're interested in joining that, it's GARCapitalFX.com. I know you guys have questions. I promise I won't take long. And next is Roku. Roku, we've been riding this train for a while, team. Roku is looking to break out. We just had earnings. That's strong. Keep in mind, maybe for next week, take a look at the 250s. I know it's probably a long shot since we already breaking out here, but 235.47 was my breakout point. Looks like we're above that. Wait for the move for the pullback. Maybe you should get a pullback here in a second, but that level is my breakout level. Maybe take a look at the 245s or 250s for next week on Roku. Roku is looking very nice. A nice ascending triangle on Roku. Again, I've been writing this name for a while. Again, it's something I've been recommending for a while. It's part of our investment thesis. Again, Roku is a great name to own. So Square and Roku have been doing well. Now with Square moving up, PayPal moved up slightly as well, but then pulled back. So now it's at 202.63. I love PayPal as well. I think PayPal is worth a buy. If you get below 190, should be worth taking a look at it. But tech is definitely kind of underperforming the rest of the market. Tech has been an absolute monster lately. So that's where we are. All right, enough about me talking and my monologue. Let's answer some questions. Good morning. Thoughts on NIO long? Only been playing calls personally. I think I just answered that. Yeah, NIO looks like it's ready. We had a little pullback pre-market, so I think it's ready for an investment to buy. Now, you may say, guys, I'm a little late, but I've been trading NIO now for a while, so I've made some money off the name. Morning, boss. Nice entries for Uber. Uber did report as well. I believe the CEO was on CNBC this morning. Uber, I do own long term. I think if you get to 40, which is your 50-day moving average, or the gap down to 36.88 would be a good level. 30 to 40, they still burning cash. So again, you need to have a long-term horizon for a name like Uber. If you're looking for a quick flip, stay away. What's up? Good morning. Can you do a technical analysis on Plug? Sure. Let's take a look at Plug together. Again, we know the drill. Plug has been, and these EV companies, this is a battery company, has been absolutely on fire. So I would wait for this wick high of 1911 to break before you do anything. Make sure you want to break highs before you start talking calls yet. So again, Plug, I've played before, wait for 1911, and then I think it's fine. It's fine for a call. Square, entry on calls. For entry on calls, 192.50. That's my level on Square. Thoughts on playing calls, marijuana stocks. ACB has been good in the last few days. Take a look at CGC. CGC has been kind of that darling for calls, for options. Take a look at the 22.5 for CGC. I had a level break at a 21.75. It broke out. I told everyone, blunts, Bitcoin betting. Stick to those three for right now. 21.75 just broke out. I like the 22.50s in the volume. 22.50s should be the call that you should make, if not the 23s. For next week. You're not trading for this week. Don't be crazy. Don't do it this week. So again, CGC would be best. What am I looking for today? I'm looking at CGC. I'm looking at NIO. Hi man, what do you think about SPY? Thanks a lot. SPY is actually bouncing with a strong payroll report. Again, take a look at around 33.50.42. Maybe you could start taking a look at targeting the 354s for next week. Could be interesting. Thoughts on gold? I'm long. 190 calls, 80%. You take 80%, guys. I always say this. If you have to ask, sell it. Take your money. 80% is great. Don't get greedy. NIO prediction for 2020. Predictions are tough. Obviously, it's at all-time highs. Just looking at it here for 2021, I'm just gonna say $50. Throw a shot in the dark. I mean, God, we don't know. 300 scalp today. I am not scalping anything for same-day expiry. We've had an amazing week. I am not risking our clients' capital by giving them same-day expiry. That's a fact, and especially your money where you're watching. What's nearest resistance for Space? Space did report as well, and it is up pre-market. I am a proud shareholder. Your next resistance is 21. 2088 to 2021. Okay, so Donald Trump, wow, just got some news here, guys. President Trump to admit defeat after receiving advice from his advisors. It looks like President Biden is now your new president of the United States. You heard it here. Donald Trump will admit defeat according to admit defeat from receiving advice from his advisors. This is from Fox News. Futures are moving up right now as we speak with that news. Again, being apolitical, who cares? Again, we're here to make money, not be arguing politics. But you could see on my board right here, 68 on the Dow, NASDAQ down 40, S&P. Yeah, yep, there you go. That's where we are. Wow. Yep. Looks like it might be over, guys. It looks like we're rounding the circle where this election season is over. Okay, any thoughts on buying stock price since we don't know who's going to get elected? I think it's pretty safe to say that Joe Biden is your new president. Joe Biden is your new president. No. And that's pretty safe to say now. And everything is moving. Thoughts on QQQ? Wouldn't be trading it for today, but again, you're seeing the markets are moving up. We're going to get a breakout soon, guys. Your portfolio is going to be pretty happy today. QQQ looks very nice. We've traded it this week. I would say a break of around 294.50 should be pretty solid for a breakout, but it's right there and looks like we're going to get a push today. Just saw the same states that my legalized sports betting DKNG. I own DKNG long. You stay long the name. And did you see Elon talking at Dig and NIO? Yeah, he said something about that 42 is nice, but 420 is better. Good old Elon. And IWM is definitely on the move. We're getting a break. I would target maybe 169.56, which is the highs if you're looking for next week. But you need to see volume before we begin. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and go from there. I have a lot to get in with my students and our guys, so I will talk to you on Monday. Have a great rest of your week, guys. Enjoy your weekend, and keep it locked here on G.A.R Capital. Keep it locked on our Twitter, G.A.R Capital, where we'll give you the news that you need. Dow futures are now up 148. It looks like the election is over. You heard it here first from your favorite anchorman, Carlos Garcia. Have a great one, guys. Enjoy yourselves. Stay safe.